They're right. They did lose to Washington, but you're talking a team that lost Yusuf Nurkic, that lost C.J. McCollum, and they're still winning as if those two players are in the lineup. And I know it's been kind of a mishmash of other guys that have helped, but I haven't been able to really dial in on that. I would love to see that up close.
All right, let's go back to Atlanta really quick and hear from Jamal Murray. His thoughts on this Nuggets loss.
What's the mood in the locker room? You guys finished the road trip 1-3. How are you guys feeling?
I was ready to go back home. And, regroup, go back home. Get some good food in my stomach. Clean up my place a little bit. Get in the gym, maybe ice bath. Practice, watch film. So that's what I'm going to do.
If I'm reading it correctly, you don't sound concerned. Is that accurate?
Man, when am I ever concerned, man? We're just playing basketball. It's a long season. I don't know how many times you got to explain it. You guys asked about we lose a game, we have a bad stint, we have a bad trip, we have a bad quarter. It's like, the end of the world, man. It's just basketball. Some days you lose, some days you win, and some days you miss shots, some days you make every shot. Some days the one team plays better than you and you know you're a better team, and some days it's the other way around. You guys know it. It's a long season. We're, 32 games in? I don't know. I just play. But, yeah, man, it's a long season. We're not stressing. We know you guys know we can beat the teams we need to beat. You guys know we'll be in the playoffs, and no matter, doesn't matter who we're playing, we'll give it a best shot. So the mood is just to get healthy. We got a lot of bodies out. You guys don't take that into consideration sometimes. We got a lot of guys out. We have Thrill playing the 4. Bo hasn't played all season. He's getting there and doing a great job. Sometimes it's a chemistry thing. Guys have been playing together. Other teams have been playing together for a while, and we're out here just trying to figure out, trying to be early, trying to talk it out, trying to have more communication. There's a list of things that we could be better at. So, like I said, man, it's a long season. I'm just eager to get home. It's been a long trip.
Adam Morris.
Hey, Jamal, if it is a long season and the ups and downs, they come, what are some of the short-term goals, things you look at that you'd like the team to accomplish over the next 5 to 10 games?
5 to 10 games?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't even know who we play in 10 games.
Over the next upcoming games, what are some short-term goals the team can achieve?
Who's our next game?
Portland. I know, I was muted. Portland.
So our job is to go win Portland. That's our job. But it's always like we don't look 2 games ahead when you got a game ahead of you. So that's our next game is to plan for Portland, get practice, watch film, get better as a unit, and to prepare for that game. That's how it should be. You don't look to 20 games ahead.
Here's what the Nuggets have coming up. Obviously, we've talked about Portland. That's on Tuesday. The Nuggets have won 7 in a row at home against the Trailblazers. Then they have Washington on Thursday, and they are at Oklahoma City on Saturday. Please note, the game against Portland, is that at 8 p.m. tip-off?
It is an 8 p.m. tip-off.
So 7 p.m. we will be on air here on Altitude. That game is also on TNT, but we'll have your coverage as well. Final thoughts, you guys. The Nuggets 1-3 on this road trip, but they're coming home. Nothing like some home cooking.
Well, yeah, they got to get it going. They've played well in first quarters for a while now, and that helps you get a good start. But they've got to continue.
Downtown Atlanta, the Nuggets not celebrating after this one, though, that's for sure. The Hawks beat the Nuggets. Final game of this 4-game road trip for Denver, 123-115, the final. Katie Wingy, Bill Hanslake, Chris Dempsey, welcome to the Toyota Locker Room Report. Fellas, this was a tough one to watch after that first quarter, Hans.
The first quarter, they did some good things. They were almost great. They had solid first quarter. They had a chance to even grow a bigger lead. Atlanta hit a couple late. But then that second quarter started again. It's the same lack of energy. I think we talked about it. Coach Malone, he had the 16-second timeout in the second quarter.
Yeah.
What did we call that? I can't remember what we called that. The not happy timeout. And from there, it just was not a good second quarter.
No, it really wasn't. And, for the Atlanta Hawks, it was an energy-building second quarter. It was a confidence-building second quarter. And, they were able to get to a lot of stuff that they wanted to get to. And, what you're going to see here is a lot of points in the paint is what you're going to see here. And, it begins with pick and roll, and, everything flows from it. So, when the problem that you have is allowing penetration into the paint and high percentage shots because of it, then if you can't get that under control quickly, things will spiral out of control.
It felt like tonight the red carpet was rolled out into the paint for the Atlanta Hawks in the way that they were attacking inside. 37-23 in that second quarter, and then the third quarter, 29-20. The Nuggets only scored 20 points. So it was like their defense didn't show up in the second, and then their offense didn't show up in the third, and it just kind of continued to spiral from there. We mentioned the points in the paint, though, in that second quarter. A lot of that had to do with pick and roll, and a lot of that has to do with Tae Young and Clint Capella. Those two guys were a nightmare tonight for Denver.
Well, I thought they gave Tae too much room. He's a great player. He can wheel and deal. But they just watched these highlights. I hadn't even seen them. But here, you don't see it. That Joker got out a little late, and that's going to get – I would be higher on those screens. The second man over's got to be there to help RJ there. Sometimes it's just Tae Young making great plays. You can't get beat by a herder to the hoop, or it's going to be lob dunk.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. I think there are these individuals in this league where you have the best intentions of what you need to do to slow them down. And they're just that good. And Tae Young lives in that space. And for the Nuggets, you see how these two guys hit him up. And not only that, the Tae Young's 35 points is one thing, but the 15 assists is a total different thing. The Hawks had something like 8 players that had 11 points or more in this game. And so that's not just Tae Young hitting you up, and that's not just Clint Capella hitting you up. It's Tae Young scoring and then facilitating for all the other guys that are scoring as well. And you can't get hit with that double whammy and expect to win a game.
Yeah, the Nuggets, it felt like deja vu of Clint Capella's Houston Rockets days. The going back to the way that he used to dominate them there, they just didn't have an answer really for either one of those guys tonight. We do want to bring up one bright spot, though, for the Nuggets, and that was Monte Morris, especially with the minutes that he got tonight, too. 15 points off the bench. And he's, like, we call him Mr. Consistency for a reason, because he's just solid when he goes out there, Hans.
Yeah, how about this line? 15 points, 7 rebounds. That might be a career high. 6 assists. I don't think he had a turnover. And he out the bench did just an outstanding job. You see these mid-range jobs he's good. He's become so good at finishing at the rim against big guys. I really like that play there, Guns.
I think he's the team's best finisher against big guys. I think he is. He's become that. And I just love it when the ball's in his hands. I know that he's been off the ball a lot because, they play a lot of multiple guard lineups. I just love it when the ball's in his hands. Good decisions are almost always made. You're talking about being able to negotiate the pick and roll as well as any guard out there. And just a lot of good things happen when he's on the court. So just good to see him score, and Hans noted the rebounding as well. So, just nice to see him play well.
One more thing to add that you talked about it briefly at the beginning. The second and third quarter is not good. Bench. When you're playing, you have so many guys out. Your starters, you're okay. You got Jamal, Joker playing in minutes, Will in there. You got some continuity. But it's so discombobulated. You're not used to playing with it. Bobo got minutes tonight. Zeke Naji started. Yep. RJ got a little. You have all these blended lineups, and you're just not completely certain of what you should do both offensively and defensively within those groups. And you pay the price.
And look, the Nuggets, they're not a team that uses excuses, but they have a ton of them right now. They have so many guys that are injured. They're, last game of a road trip. They're tired. All of those. They're playing on the road. They have them if they want to take them. I don't think that they will. But how do you develop chemistry when you're bouncing around as much as they are?
You don't. Unless these lineups become permanent somehow, and they just get chemistry because they're just out there all together all the time. I don't necessarily expect that to be the case, and so they just have to do the best they can when they're out there. But Hans is right. What are you going to do? You're just forced to be this mix and match kind of thing, and
You can't play Jamal Joker 45 minutes a night, and they're the key to the team.
There is a certain element that we just have to be patient as Nuggets fans for the team to get healthy and kind of power through or weather this storm. All right, let's take a look at our PointsBet payoff now, see how you guys did for those of you that took a look at some of these props.
I won it.
You did win yours. Jamal Murray finished with 30 tonight, but the Nuggets did not win this one. Jokic and Tae Young combined for only 50, so both of those props. The under, I guess the 18 points in the Denver wins, but is that still considered the under? Do you call it that? I don't know. That one didn't hit. We'll just call it that. So yeah, if you put money on tonight's game,
you know what's interesting? That's such a big 67 because Joker got his normal 25.
Right.
35